Good morning, everybody here in the SBP. I'm your boy Prime. Source will be with us here in a second. We are back this week. Missed you last week, guys. Source had something to take care of. I think he was out of town. I had some business to handle, but we are back, and we're gonna definitely talk some WNBA. We're gonna talk some hip hop, and then we're gonna also talk about a few other things that may come in the mix. As you know how we do. We like to talk, man. So whatever comes up, TV, entertainment, things like that, we will be all over it. If you're watching this live on this Sunday morning, I hope your Sunday morning has started off well. Um, happy to wake up this morning and being able to talk, run my mouth a little bit with the homie. As I mentioned, he will be joining us here shortly, man. Here shortly. Very eventful week in the WNBA, man. We had a lot of big scoring performance. Of course, none bigger than what Caitlin Clark did. So, we're going to dive in that pretty early. She had a crazy game. There's a couple of other WNBA players who actually had some really, really good weeks and are starting to put some things together, man. And we can't wait to speak on those, man. We have the WNBA All-Star game coming up, so we're gonna hit on the rosters and all that. So it's going to be fun. It's going to definitely be a fun show, man. Thank y'all for rocking with us. If you're not in the group, the SBP over on Facebook, man, make sure you join us, man. We get in there, we talk hip hop. Sports is our thing, but hip hop, television, and movies are always in play. We do it all, man. We do it all. Also, you can go to the SBP TV. That's live as well on Facebook. So that is the page to our sports group. And of course, those of you checking us out over on YouTube, you have already found the SBP TV. So the page on Facebook and the YouTube page are exactly the same. The only difference with the group is there's no TV behind it. It is just the SBP. So, thank you for rocking with us, man. Thank you for rocking with us. Let's see if we can get Source in here in the building. Source, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear
All
me?
right. How you doing, dog?
Oh, okay. You can hear me. Cool. I'm
Yeah.
good, bro. How you be? I'm tired. I'm tired in the mother.
Yeah. I'm a little tired too. That's why I'll be right here in this house the entire day.
Oh yeah.
And nothing's gonna move me, man, unless it's an emergency, bro. I'm dog tired, bro. To be honest with you. What's up with you?
Man, I did a family reunion, did a gig last night. Family reunion for 4 hours.
Woo.
That was fun. That was fun. I mean, I'm tired, to be
They
honest.
feed you?
But DJ, yeah, yeah.
They
Did they
fed
feed me? They fed me. It was
I
fine.
just yeah, if y'all got somebody DJing your gig, folks, what I'm saying, DJing your gig, and you got some food, man, get the people a plate, man. Get the
Yeah,
people a
yeah.
plate, take them a beer, something, do something.
And then look, it ended up. It was supposed to be at one place. It ended up being moved to another place. And my cousin, my wife's cousin, but my cousin basically, you know what I'm saying. She was having a housewarming. It just so happened that it was 4 minutes away from the spot that I was DJing. So
Convenience.
after that, I was headed over there. Uh, had a good time over there. Got home, about two. Yeah, about two. You know, my body ain't built for all this. You know what I'm saying? Tired, tired, and still woke up too early.
That's how it is, man. That's how it is with me. I always tell them I'm gonna sleep in a little bit. I'm gonna do something. But what happens is the times that I say that I'm going to sleep in, I end up waking up way earlier than normal. And sometimes my body's tired, but it's hard for me like to just to fall back asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it's completely. I might get a little 5, 10 minutes, wake up again, but it's hard, man. It's hard.
yeah. After I took a shower, after I got here, took a shower, laid in bed. My wife was like, because she was at the housewarming, so I ended up actually picking her up and just bringing her home too. Um, she was like, "You sleep?" I was like, "I don't think I'm going to sleep no time soon." I ended up falling asleep a little bit later, but I just felt like I'm gonna be awake for a while. So I stayed up a little bit, finally fell asleep, and then woke up at the crack of dawn. So here we are, and I did a 2-hour live this morning. I don't
Oh,
know why I
oh,
do
she
this to
did go live
myself.
this morning. I thought
I
she.
did. Once the wife left for church, I was like, I ain't doing nothing. It's either this or work on this. Remember I told you the electrical issue in the kitchen? Yeah, that jump is back.
Oh
It's got to be a short or something. I don't know. So it was either work on that or go live. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later.
man, that's wild, man. But your week been all right though. Other than that,
I don't even know, bro. I don't even remember. I'm alive, so there's that. There's that. Still recovering. I'm still recovering from last week.
yeah, you took a trip, right? You was out.
Yeah, I hosted the joint out in Sacramento. I hosted Sound Wars Beat Battle in
Nice,
Sacramento, California. Had a
nice,
good time.
nice.
Me ended up being shout out to my man Doom the Wiz that threw it. It ended up being me, Doom, and Elder Sensei for 72 hours, basically.
What?
We both landed uh, Thursday night. We he came and picked us up. We went and got some food at like midnight or whatever. Went to the crib, did the things that people do.
Word, word.
Not me so much, but
Yeah.
this weekend and that weekend, yes. And
Hey, it's all love.
go to sleep. Get up. We did L did a in store on Friday. We were at that. Got some food out there. Came back to the crib. Doom's lady hooked us up with some food and watched a little TV, little conversation. Saturday was getting ready for the joint. I hosted. L was a judge. Then he performed. It was fire. Dope producers from different parts of California came through and rocked. And shout out to Bravo Domo for winning it all. And
Nice.
then Sunday, I thought we were recording. I thought we were going to do a song or something. Uh, Everybody was so tired, we just ended up sitting and doing the same thing we did on Thursday, which they did literally all hours, all times, every day. I was like, God, I'm tired, bro. Y'all got to do something else. Y'all got it. Yeah, wake and bake is crazy. Wake and bake is crazy. I was like, y'all got it, bro. I can't even. Nah. But anyway, got home Monday morning, flew back Friday night, all night, and ended up getting home at like 11 a.m. with a 4-hour layover in BWI.
Hey,
Yeah, I was like, we're right up the street. I could drive home by the time this layover is over.
not the
But
4 hour joint.
yeah, 4 hours
Trying
from
to think
6
what's the longest
a.m.
layover I ever had. I'm trying to 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I don't know.
We got there at 5:55 a.m. and we left at 10 a.m.
Whew.
Yeah.
Well, at least but you didn't have any issues other than your layover, right? They didn't change your gate or anything, right?
Nope, that was all good. On the way there, it was crazy because we left late. It was bad weather in Denver. Got there with like 20 minutes before my next flight. Maybe 30, maybe a little bit more than that. So that was kind of crazy a little bit because Denver Airport is huge. It's pretty big. It is pretty big. And but everything worked out. Outside of the lady on the first flight, which was 4 hours, she was farting the whole joint, bro.
No, not on the plane, dog.
Bro, she was
Was she
farting the
awake?
whole
Was she
joint.
awake? Sleep?
She
Like
was
that?
awake
Oh
and
my
she
goodness.
never said a word. And she was, you know, not nowadays we say older and people are like, well, you older. No, she was older. She was older than that. And I was like, maybe she can't control. I don't know. But that joint, them joints that just linger in the air.
Oh,
It'd
bro.
be like that. Because
That.
at first I was like, who is this? But then it kept happening. I was like, it's the lady beside me. Golly. I was like, I hope bro over here don't think it's me. It ain't me, guys. It ain't. It ain't me.
Nah, well, at least you didn't have like the issues. I think I might have told you one time going to a football game. I've been to a ton of them. We went one time and we had a layover. I think it was a 2.5 hour layover, something like that. So we do what most people do. Once you get settled, you find out where your gate at. You might either maybe take a nap or go find something to eat. Like a lot of those,
Right.
lot of those airports are set up like a mall. So we went to the bad boy, and I remember we went to eat. And you know me, I'm a drink.
Yeah.
Me and one of my brothers, we was drinking, and of course we got the one reasonable brother that he shout out to Fred. Fred is just the sense of all of it. Like he is the calm, all that. He holds the tickets, he held everything. He don't drink. He gonna drive. That's why you gotta have a bro like Fred. Fred not a
Right.
drink. He don't drink. He not gonna do anything. If you gonna take a picture holding your brew, he gonna take a picture holding a Sprite. That's just what it is. But we were in there eating and drinking, and then we were heading back to our gate because we strategically had set it up to where we found a restaurant or bar to sit in that was literally like right near our gate.
Mm-hmm.
We went far, so we sat there. I was like, all right, man, let's get up out of here, yo. Joint started loading, and we went to go roll out, and we went to the gate, and there was nobody there. It was like, so we went to the little thing and asked the ladies, like, yo, did they change the time or something? Did we miss it? They was like, oh no, they changed your gate. It was such and such. You guys gotta hurry. It's on the other side of the airport. They changed our gate, bro. Like we had to go halfway around the airport to get to the exact gate we were supposed to be on versus where we were sitting. Bro, you ever seen them movies where people are running? You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking. You remember Home Alone when they were hurrying to get on the gate?
Yeah.
Do that times 3.
Nah,
Yeah.
y'all sprinting out that joint.
That was us, bro. That was us. And we got there and they got us in just in time. Like everybody else was already on the plane. It's craziest thing in the world. I said, man, you live and you learn. So now every time I've gone on a flight since then, if they say the joint is at 2:30, at the very least, I'm at the minimum 30, 35 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah.
I'm out, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about what if he say he would start loading at 2:30. I ain't talking about I've learned. I'm learned. So
no doubt.
Yeah, man. But anyway, man, glad you made it back. Welcome back.
Appreciate it.
There was no show last week. We almost actually did a show last week. One of the guys we were going to jump on. Then we ended up just not doing it, and which was fine. I was tired then too for no reason other than work. But I just sat in the crib and watched some movies. So one of them inspired something that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, so other than that, welcome back. And we're going to talk about some basketball and of course, the ladies. And we got a hip hop segment. And anything that flows in between it, we'll get to it, right?
Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and I was going to say kick it off, but appropriately tip it off as we talking hoops. And let's talk WNBA as we always do. One of our favorite things. And it's been a pretty good week, man. It's been a pretty good week. We got a lot of happenings. We had a lot of huge scoring performances. We've had some controversy, comments. We had all type of things pop off, man. But it would be only right, us being a sports show and talking to WNBA, we need to go ahead and start it off. We're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. And there's a lot of things we can talk about with Caitlin Clark, but to be right and to be fair, I'm just going to start off with the 45 points, man. 45 points, 10 assists against the Seattle Storm, and Shorty was on one. You hear me? Caitlin Clark was on one that day, and it was crazy because I had just made the comment early when the game started. I said, man, Kelsey Mitchell out here cooking, bro. Kelsey Mitchell out here cooking in this room. And Caitlin was like, hold on, my friend, just hold on. And then she came out there, and they was just banging them. Crazy performance by Caitlin Clark, man. And you got to give it up. I don't care how you feel about Caitlin Clark. You got to get that up, bro. That was amazing.
Oh yeah, 45 and 10 is crazy. I think she's the first Indiana female to do 40 and 10, I believe.
Yes.
crazy. It's a crazy number, which reminds you of her college days.
He's first in WNBA too.
First in the WNBA.
You
Okay,
do 40 and 10.
40 and 10. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a crazy number. And for it to come uh, at the time it did, which is after one of the most recent controversies with her had taken place, it was like kind of like her firing back at the critics. I can respect it as such. I know we don't always point out, well, this was done against a bad team, and I don't want to try to take away from what she did. Seattle is a bad team, though. Like Seattle's not a bad team in general, but in the WNBA, it's not a good team. It's a bad team. Like they lose a lot. The fact that the game was close was kind of silly, even though Aaliyah Boston didn't play. But Indiana should beat the brace off of Seattle normally. That wasn't the case, but that does not take away from Kelsey Mitchell putting up 30 plus, and then Caitlin with 45 and 10. She was knocking down what, six threes? Knocked down six threes,
6 for 10.
6 for 10, 60%. So you can't complain about that, even though you might say she was shooting like 17% from three a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, maybe the week before. It was not going well, but she definitely lit it up on, what was that, Friday night?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday. She was ridiculous, bro. She was ridiculous, and I think about this. You brought up an interesting point about it being against the Seattle Storm, right? One of the worst teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If you let the Caitlyn fans talk about it, it don't matter, right? Of course, if it had been somebody else, then of course it'd have been. I mean, it was playing the Seattle Storm. If it had been somebody else, it had done something big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we've seen that a lot. And something else that I saw, and I'm not going to discredit Kaden because to me, I've always said it's part of the game. But she hit 17 free throws. She was 17 or 19
Yeah.
from the free
Okay.
throw line in that game. But I do know that some of those same fans that was cheering that on and say it's part of the game are the same people that talk about not just what Angel might do, but I see them say there's a lot about the best player in the WNBA, Asia Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asia had 32. I mean, well, she hit 19 free throws. Like, this is. But it's cool
Yeah.
because Caitlyn did it. I'm not going to discredit Caitlyn. To me, it's part of the game. You get points for hitting free throws, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Part of the game is to get to the line. I'm gonna salute Caitlin Clark for doing that, but you know how people do though. It's cool that Caitlin does it, but somebody else, it's an issue.
100%. I did. I did. the only negative that I can. Well, I mean, if you want, there's multiple negatives you can say if you wanted to in this particular game. One is on the defensive end, which, I mean, if they don't call you for a foul, that ain't your fault. But when Flau'jae got the steal and got loose, Kaylin raked all the way across her arm down to her hand, and the ball went out of bounds on Flau'jae. And it was like, I know y'all saw that. Like, there's no way y'all didn't see. There's no way y'all didn't see that. But no foul was called. But even bigger than that to me, bro. They got like, I get that people push off or the elbow goes up a little bit. Them jumps be so blatant. She hit two different threes off a blatant super push. I'm like, bro, y'all got to see this. The defender is close. There's no move, and then you see the defender fly back a step or two with the arm fully extended. I'm like, come on, like I know what it is. Like, we get it. We get what it is, but y'all can't allow this. Like, that's OD for real.
So that was an interesting conversation in some of the joints I've been watching the last couple of days about the first of all the foul or no foul on Flage.
Mm-hmm.
And there's tons of people. It's going to always be those people in the comments. Well, I'm a referee, and this, that, and the third. That's such and such. We're taught that the hand is part of the ball in the hand. hands part of the ball and balls and all that. That is a foul. And then somebody says, well, yeah, but it's interpreted this way. Well, it is a foul if it's done this way. If you come across the body, it's a whole lot.
Yeah.
But the other conversation, of course, in continuation, in a lot of the videos that you see, and actually I think we have one, is the three that she hit where she looked like I don't know, she took 2 steps and hop or took 3 steps. I don't know what she did.
She took
Whether
3
or not that was a travel.
Of course it was a travel. But these days, what's a travel?
Yeah,
which is well, go. You said you had a video?
I think I do. Let me see. I think I got it. Let's take a look here.
Display of offensive talent. Watch this defensive play.
Wow.
Off Flage, and
Here we go.
Triple. Going left to the step.
Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Oh, come on, bruh. What you see?
All right, two things. One, yes, of course it's a travel. Like it's a travel. Golly, like she did a step and then she did 2 more steps. She did a hop and then did 2 steps. But that's part of the reason the NBA doesn't pique my interest as much as it used to. Because I'd be tired of it, bro. Like, I mean, so nothing's a travel at this point. Like, we just going to walk all over the place. If we can do whatever. We can pick the ball up, step backwards to the side, and then step forward, and then hop, and then shoot, and there's nothing. That's what we're doing. I get the 1-2 extra step sometimes. Like you pick the ball up mid first step, and then it's 1-2 after that. I get that. That, it's still travel, but you can sell that part. We going too far now. Like this joint is OD. It's OD, and it makes the game for me less enjoyable.
Yeah.
But on top of that, this points to another reason why I appreciate the WNBA, because the travel, when it's ridiculous, it's called normally. And kind of along with that, as a difference between the NBA and the WNBA, players are appreciated for playing both sides of the ball. Like, there are few greats that are like trash defense in the WNBA. Usually there is some defensive effort there or some ability on defense there. Rarely are they trash on defense and just an offensive juggernaut. Cynthia Cooper would probably say that she was trash on defense and an offensive juggernaut. So I'm not saying it's nobody, but I'm saying it's rare. And it's appreciated because the game is closer to what the game was intended to be, it seems, with the WNBA as opposed to the NBA, where everything is just, I don't know, they just be wilding.
Yeah, something else, man. Something else. I don't know how you get any more, how it gets any more clear than that on that travel. But that joint is crazy, like beyond crazy. And then of course he hits the bucket. And what is that? That gave the title of the game. It gave him the lead, right?
Gave him the lead, yeah, I believe.
And that comeback. And like I see, you mentioned they were having a time with Seattle.
They were.
Yeah, they were really having a time with Seattle in that particular game, man. But that's just wild, bro. That's just wild. But of course, there's people that's going hard defending both of those. Like defending both of those. If you want to the debate, okay, I can understand the debate on the foul situation on Flage. Mm-hmm. People made some really intelligent points. I'm not even going to front, even though I still think it was a foul. The interpretations of certain things. Okay, I might not ride with you on it, but with some very intelligent points made. But that trial, I don't know how y'all defending that, bro. Like that's it. Won't even like a joint I saw them call on NECA here recently, right? This joint was out there. Like this joint was like crazy. Like I don't know how you defend that, bro.
Yeah, They will find a way. They will find a way. But it's very political in the fact that, or it's very similar to politics in the fact that people will always defend their person as opposed to what's right. It's political. It's when you deal with the police, and it's sports. People will defend the person more than the action. So it used to be we talk about the action. Now it's like, well, this guy's on my side, and that he didn't do that. He was right. He was in the right. She was in the right because that's your person, as opposed to what's actually legitimately the correct thing to do in the situation.
Ralph saying we'll get a letter from the DOJ, huh?
Bro, be like, yo, hey, listen, I propose that you guys allow me to do what I want to do the way I want to do it. Like, no whistles for me. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, but shout out to Caitlin regardless. I'm not gonna hate on it. Fourth game of her career with at least 30 and 10. No other players tallied more than one.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to show the proper respect for that. And she's the first player to score 45 points. She hit the 45-point mark in just under 30 minutes. First player to do it. Players have done it. I think it's 8 players now. It's been done like 8 other times, maybe 9 times, but nobody has done it in under 30.
It's
Minutes
impressive.
of being on the basketball court. So
Impressive.
impressive fourth quarter. She was She was burning them 16 points. That was a crazy. I was talking about Kelsey and that 17 in the first, but that 16 in the fourth was off the chain for Caitlin Clark, man.
Yep.
Um, Brings up something else that's very interesting. I know you see this a lot is on a lot of the groups and fan pages because there's the conversation, not as much amongst Fever fans because they don't care, but of course the non-Fever fans about who is actually the best player on that basketball team. Who is the best player in for the Indiana Fever?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about this too because you were talking about the 30 points that Kelsey put up in that game the other night against the Storm. But Kelsey been on a tear too. I mean, well, she been that girl. She's been on a tear.
Yep.
But of course, people fail to give her props. A lot of people feel like that this is actually, I don't know if they say it's Kelsey Mitchell's team, but that she's actually the best player on the Indiana Fever. You think?
Uh it's arguable. It's arguable between the three. Somebody's gonna argue for Aaliyah Boston as well. And I get that. The team, I mean, Kelsey has been there for years, and they were not good, like very bad for years. Aaliyah showed up. They got a tiny bit better. Aaliyah was the rookie of the year. Caitlin shows up the year after that, which they're going to take a step forward anyway because it's a year under Aaliyah's belt, and then Kelsey is doing her thing. You
Right.
add Caitlin in there, they go up. They are better, much better than they were the year before. So most people, even though there's more to the story, they're still going to credit Caitlin with the improvement in the team. Problem is, after that season, you get into last season where Caitlin gets injured, and they are couple buckets away from going to the championship.
Yeah.
So, and that was all not all Kelsey Mitchell, but all the pressure was on Mitchell to perform, and that's what she did that whole time frame. So it can be argued. It can be argued that the lead. I think there's multiple conversations. There's leadership conversation. There's the who's the best player, who's the most valuable player, who does the most for the team. Like I feel like it's multiple conversations within that one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take away one piece, well, I can't even say that because you took away Caitlin last year, and like I said, they were
Close.
right there at getting to the championship. Does the same thing happen if you take away Kelsey Mitchell? Like we saw just in the one game without Aaliyah Boston in there, what a difference she makes, and that was against Seattle.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna
good point.
need, if you're gonna need 45 and 30 from the two guards in order to be competitive with a bad team, that gives Aaliyah some power as well. I don't know if any of this goes down if Kelsey Mitchell's not out there though.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't. In my point of view, I don't think it goes down without Kelsey Mitchell. And it depends on how you judge this thing too, because what we found out from a lot of fans who are not heavy basketball watchers or folks that barely watch, they just based a lot of their thoughts on everything is points. Everything is just 100% is points, right? And if we went by that metric, of course, Kelsey blows it out of the water. She's averaging almost 28 a game. Out here setting it on fire. CC is just under 21 points, and then you got AB at 17 and 8 rebounds. So what is your metric? I think a lot of these people, let's get around the fact that Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark. We know who Caitlin Clark is. When you're talking about who's the best player, if you want to equate the fact that CC is averaging 20, but she's out here giving you, crazy assist numbers, and okay, that's cool. Then you feel like Caitlin Clark is the best player on the team. I can ride with that. If you want to say that Kelsey Mitchell makes this thing go, and her scoring, her scoring is unbelievable. And I say that if you go back and look at not what she's done recently, but let's go back. Matter of fact, let's look at her last 10 games. 33, 30, 20, 27, 29, 29, 27, 26, 30, and then 22. 22 is her low 10 games ago. That is crazy. That is crazy. And the buckets that she's hitting, I've seen some crazy buckets. She's been breaking runs with some of those. She's been starting runs with some of those. And the one thing I see some people complain about, which I don't know, you can really use it in this argument because y'all say the same thing about Caitlin Clark. There's people that talked about that Kelsey needs to be a better defender, right? But if we're talking about this team here, this particular team where your star and the supposed face of the league in a lot of people's eyes, I ain't saying she don't try, but she's worse. She's a worse defender than Kelsey Mitchell.
100%.
Turnstile, like it's crazy.
There's never been a target game after game after game of attacking Kelsey Mitchell. We want to just attack Kelsey Mitchell over and over. There is that with Caitlin Clark. I mean, you can't deny that, and it works.
Yeah,
that's the worst part. It works.
It definitely works, man. It's to the point where even lesser known players, let me say that, or a lot of folks that we don't consider to be like major stars, they go at her. So
Hydeman's going at her.
Yeah, so it's a conversation. I will say this: I don't have Aaliyah Boston. She's number 3 for me out of this number, but I will say I've been impressed with Aaliyah Boston over. I guess it started sometime last year, but definitely this year.
Hold on, Brian. You can't be out here disagreeing with your wifey though.
I can disagree with. Hey man.
Oh no, it's not gonna make for
a man.
couples
don't always agree.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, cause wifey Candace Parker said Aaliyah is MVP of the league, not of the team.
Wifey bumped her head
of the league.
But shout out, since you bring up, shout out to Candace Parker. And I know you mentioned earlier about people will defend their people. Look, man, I'm the type of person.
That's what you're doing right now. Here we go.
No, this is the thing. Well, I guess I'm a counter defender because, and it's not really because it's her. It's just because that's what I believe in. a lot of people don't like Candace Parker a lot now these past because of a lot of comments that she's made, and I get it. I get it, but this is who she's always been. Y'all just not used to her being on the microphone. She speaks her mind. She speaks how she feels, and she speaks from a strong woman's point of view, and she speaks from a person that believes what she believes. That's her point of view. I don't agree with a lot of what she says, right? But she sticks to her guns, right? She believes this person is this person, and she believes that's her. You know, that's her. I ain't got to agree with it. But the fact that I will give her props on the fact that she's going to speak her mind, not really worrying about if you're going to agree with her or not. I can respect that. I ain't got to agree with everything, but I can respect it. And I do think a lot of her points, in which whether I agree with her or not, when she's talking about players, whether it's about Caitlin Clark, whether it's about Aaliyah Boston or whatever. Okay, they're well thought out. Some of it might be BS in my opinion, but I haven't seen her say anything that's off charts. I'm just gonna stop liking her because she said it. I ain't heard her say anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't gonna never see that. I'm not saying I've seen it either. I'm just saying you ain't gonna never see that.
Yeah. So no, I'm a type of I don't care. I tell people this all the time, not even to get into politics because we're not. But I liken it to what I always tell these people after I tell them, man, I don't even want to talk no politics with you, but I'm gonna tell you this. And they always want to be quick to when Trump does something, right? Mm-hmm. And then they come back, but Obama did this. And I'm like, okay. I love Barack Obama, dog. A model of a person. But if Obama had done some of the things or said some of the things that Donald Trump is saying, I'm gonna have a problem with Obama. And I'll be honest with you, like, depending on what it is, I'm gonna have a problem. So I don't have a problem pointing out people that I like, whether it's sports or whatever it is. If they say something I think is off the rails, racial, I'm gonna say it, mm-hmm. Right? I'm gonna say, I don't agree with that. I don't like that, and I might think differently. But that's just where we are.
Not to stay on politics, but dog, I ain't never seen in the history of America where the president does a speech and that joint ain't on every station. Like it ain't on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox.
The one station that showed it didn't show the whole thing, to my understanding.
What, CBS?
Yeah, somebody. So I flipped through the channels. I said, I'm gonna get this about 2 minutes because I want to see if it's what they say. They say they're gonna talk about the election. So he got to that point. I gave it about 2 or 3 minutes just to hear the BS, and then I said, "Yep, time to flip it." I wasn't gonna watch it anyway. I was just curious, and then I saw stuff later on. I don't know if I was on X or one of them. They were saying that they didn't show. They were saying that they didn't show the whole thing. That somebody got cut somewhere. I don't know.
It was funny because I didn't even know it was happening, and I talked to my mom at about 8 o'clock. And she was like, she mentioned it. I was like, what? I went to the TV guide joint that pops up. I was like, no station says that this is happening except for C-SPAN. C-SPAN said it. Nobody else even said. I was like, what? This can't be real. And she 83. I'm like, you may be tripping. You might be wrong. But and I saw the C-SPAN. I was like, oh, it's really happening. It just ain't on nowhere. That's crazy. But yeah, wild times.
It is wild times, man. Wild times. But people with hurt feelings, man, y'all lay off Candace Parker, man. Like y'all, there's some sensitive people out here. The woman's allowed to speak her mind. A lot of people speak their minds, all right? Now until she come back and Candace come back and say something mad crazy, like denigrating black people. Okay, I might have a problem with it. All right. She just speaking her mind. You ain't got to agree. We are so conditioned nowadays is the second a celebrity and says something or disagrees with your point. Let me say that. We automatically don't like them. For me, it's what is the point? You see what I'm saying? Man. Is the point something, is it the racial divide? or is it just because I don't agree that this person is the best, so I think this person is better? It's just different. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't know what Candace's motivation for saying Aaliyah Boston is who she is. I don't know, or that she really feels that. That's Candace. I ain't got to agree with it. I don't agree with it, but I don't know them. But she didn't say nothing crazy. Like, so. Candace, keep doing you. I might agree with you. I might not, but keep doing you. You know, that's what it is. But how would you, if in your personal opinion, how you feel about this situation, and you had a great breakdown just now. Rank these three for the Fever. As far as their importance to that team.
Importance in winning a championship, or just every day.
Just every day.
I'm going Kelsey Mitchell 1. I'm going Kelsey Mitchell, Kevin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's mine as well. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, you say this, and folks swear up and down you talking crazy about Caitlin Clark, but you doubting Caitlin Clark. But I'm with you. If Kelsey Mitchell is not on this team, if she's not on this team, I really wonder what they would look like. You know, they've made a nice charge here recently, especially the last 2 games. We talked about Seattle, but they took out a reeling New York Liberty squad last night. I think they lost with 8 or 10. I'm waiting for the headlines that DeMarco then got fired, but that's a whole nother thing. But man, I would really like to see this team, the success that they have, if Kelsey Mitchell was not there.
You know what it would lead to? It would lead to Sophie Cunningham needing to earn that shoe deal. That's what it would lead to.
To do more than 9 points a game?
Yeah, I don't care. Shoot.
Candace catching heat for that too, right?
What she say?
Nah, because isn't Sophie, if I think I'm correct, is it AJ? What's good, my brother? What's good, Caesar? That's what that was. Okay. I saw something go across my screen, but I didn't read it. That's interesting. I'm about to talk to Joel and about that. He said OKC then traded Lou Dort to the Hawks. They traded Lou Dort. Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's that. Yeah, I'm about to talk to Joel and them later. That's wild. That's what. And it was. Look, I just saw Lou on something maybe a few weeks ago, and he had an OKC hat on, and he was. I don't know. That's crazy. I might have to analyze that, but that's why. I understand OKC had to make some decisions. I mean, they are a young team.
Yeah.
Still got drafted. I get it, but Lou is so integral to a lot. Caesar says OKC got third and second round picks.
Wow.
Dang. AJ, let me know how you feel about that, dog, being the resident OKC fan in the group for sure, dog.
Right.
Yeah, but interesting. But yeah, man, I just y'all know Stephanie White now. If there's no Mitchell in this picture, I'm not saying they wouldn't be a good team, but yeah. But you asked about Candace. Isn't Sophie's deal with Adidas?
I honestly don't know.
Let's check it.
Wait. Nobody's still Candace. It's Candace joint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she catching heat for that because you know why, right?
I don't know what the people are saying. I know what I'm saying. What are the people saying?
Just saying that how does Sophie Cunningham and her 9 points a game, not even being a star, to get a shoe deal before a lot of these other ladies, especially ladies of color,
That is a great question. It's a fair question. It is a fair question.
Yep.
The only thing comparable that I can think of is Sydney Colston. I said Colston. Sydney Colston has a shoe deal with some rando company. I think I think it's some rando.
It was, yeah.
Well, okay, that is a rando company trying to grab onto something WNBA. This is who? Adidas? Not only is it Adidas, it's Candace Parker. Candace Parker is uh, validating a player whose popularity is based on whiteness and being next to Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
That is the validity of this shoe deal.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at it like that, it's crazy. Now, when I say, huh, one could, if they wanted to, one could be like, well, a black woman creating uh, revenue for herself, let's say, based on racism, it could go either way, depending on who's saying it. They could be like, hey, everybody should benefit, or it could be like, how could you benefit? But it's definitely based on race. It's all based on racism. I just had a conversation the other day with somebody about Sophie Cunningham, and they were trying to compare Sophie Cunningham to Angel Reese, and I was like, bro, but okay, like there's no need for us to have a conversation because you're just saying stupid stuff because that doesn't make any sense. Well, they both are just popular. One is a two-time All-Star in 2 years. The other is about to be 30. She about to be 30 and comes off the bench, and you, sir, did not know who she was 1 year and 2 months ago. You didn't know she existed. Now you're defending her. Why? Why? You only know because she defended Caitlin Clark in the J.C. Sheldon joint. That is the legitimate only reason you know who this person is. And now you are her biggest defender. Make that make sense.
That's how it goes.
You can't.
That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Getting major all-star votes. That's just how it is, man. That's how it is. But Candace is catching some heat over that one, right? Because of her position, her position there at Adidas. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now I don't think it's just the fact. It's just the fact that she got the deal. But of course, it's the fact that she got the deal, and there's so many other folks that um, either don't have a deal or they have a deal with Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the signature shoe. It's just that they got a shoe that's already made, and then he's threw their name on it and get them to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's real.
One of the people that was tripping out there, of course, was a lot of people definitely not gonna like it, but it was Jamel Hill was saying something about Sophie Cunningham's shoe deal, and there were others. There were some other notable people that came out, but very interesting point.
Some people say it's because she's popular. But the argument still goes back to why is she popular? She's not popular because of what she does on the court, because she's been on the court for years. And again, you didn't know who she was. Now her proximity to some people's white savior, as if there needs to be a white savior for the WNBA when there are tons of great white players, but they're white savior that they're all defending for whatever reason because of the Angel Reese incident. And that is where that's like benefiting off of some bull, but then Candace is over here like, yep, yeah, I'm a benefit too. Like it's just the whole dynamic is just wild. It's just wild.
It would be hard for me, again, not trying to take off the Candace. It would kind of be hard for me to totally judge it. I don't know all the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? I know her position in the company. You know, I don't know all of the dynamics, who pulls the rest of the strings, who does what, who has the actual say on who gets what. So I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know, Prime. I don't know, bro. I
Okay,
mean,
no, I've learned. I just say this. I don't care if it was Candace Parker. Shoot, man, I don't care if it was Caitlin Clark. I'm gonna say that. I might have my feelings about it, and I do have some deep feelings about certain people not being able to don't have shoes or a real signature shoe.
mm-hmm.
But I would like to know everything before I have total judgment.
Gotcha.
You know, sometimes we see things in life and in sports or whatever that are not 100% what they seem, or I might have to back this, or I might back this, but I don't know the person behind me who's pulling certain strings, who never
Mm-hmm.
has to be seen. We're gonna have the final word. I see that in everyday life at my job. People I work for, so I'm trying to tell you. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's a legitimate discussion, and I get it. I definitely get it. So, but yeah, as far as these three Indiana Fever players, I go with you in that order, 100%. Um, let's see. Let's talk about Angel, man. Let's talk about Angel. We gotta talk about Angel. I know I talked about Angel last time, but bruh, we talking about somebody having had a fantastic week, or at least the last couple of games. You gotta shout out Angel Reese, man. That's why I told you when we were doing our favorite 10 or whatever, and I said that I liked Angel last year. She probably wasn't in my favorite 10.
Mm-hmm.
She's in my favorite 10 for a lot of reasons now as current players. Because not only is she seems to be maturing before our eyes. And I hate to keep saying that because I just know sooner or later it's going to be that blow up or something. And then people will be like, see, I told you. But the way she's conducted herself this entire season, uh, through controversy, she's in, a little bit of controversy now, not of her doing, but doing certain situations with Angel would have been definitely up in the refs' faces and other players. And she's still going to woof a little bit, but she's conducting herself awesomely. I think the way she's playing, she still got that fight. She still got that edge. She's still gonna talk that talk. She's still gonna the too small sign or whatever. But we haven't seen Angel go off the rails. But she's balling. We go back to the last two games. She had a game against the Sparks. I think it was last Sunday. I believe it was Sunday or Monday. 63% from the floor. She went 23 and 13. Even hit a 3 in that joint.
Yep.
Comes back 4 nights later against the Tempo, goes 23 and 12, 63% again. I hear balling, and I know there's going to be some more 30 and 40% games, and just her style of play, it's going to happen. Yeah. But to put together back-to-back games that way, and was instrumental in both of those wins, especially that, but both of the games really, but especially that Sparks game, because she made some key plays, dog. Like, I don't know if you saw any of them, either this game, but that Sparks game especially,
yeah,
it ain't just the points, the blocks, the steal, like, timely steals in the fourth quarter. Like, you got to love it, man.
For sure. Shout out to my, I know it's not about Angel Reese. Atlanta does play today, but shout out to my daughter, Jada. She's actually at the Sparks and Wayne's game. She's already there.
What?
She just texted that she just saw.
Nice. That is nice, man.
She just saw Cam Brink's mom.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah. So
man,
she visiting one of her friends out in Dallas. So she said we going to this Wayne's game, even though we saw the Waynes, for my birthday. We saw the Waynes up in New York, but shout out to her for pulling up again for her people, Paige and AZ. So I like that.
1 o'clock on ABC.
Yeah, man.
Nice. That is nice. Yeah, man. Angel, man. 17 double-doubles on the season. And not that she already wasn't a good defender. My only critique of her defending sometimes is is she doesn't have that short-term memory, right? I see her sometimes she be playing outstanding defense, but then there'll be a play or two where something didn't go right on the other end. Whereas, it's a turnover or she gets a shot blocked or something and then gets down the other end and let somebody slip behind her where she's looking somewhere else, like, because she's still thinking about the play. That happens with her. I've seen her happen. That happened even when she was at LSU. But beyond that, when her head is in there, very good defender, long arms, can block a few shots, deter some shots. Her eye for knowing where the ball is coming off the rim is crazy enough. She had the big putback a few games ago, too, before the buzzer at the half, which actually I shared a video of it as well as other people. On SBP TV, it's gotten the most comments out of most of the videos that we put up. I put up there in a while. People loving that. So, I should have put it up here. Love the commentator on the putback. I don't know if you saw. He was like Angel Reese. Now he says the big one, never the little one, or something. The way that joke was fire. The big one, never the little one. So I had to show us some love. Matter of fact, that's why the name of today's show is W's in the chat, because she's been playing well, and Atlanta is back to their winning ways. And help has arrived too.
Yeah.
Because Jones came back last night and played pretty well. But somebody's been gone that long, so this is gonna be interesting.
Love it for them. Hopefully that creates some stability, some consistency for them across the board.
Yeah. Shout out to my homie too. I'm shouting out Angel Reese, but you talking about somebody who had a really nice game the other night. Nas Hillman. Hillman put together a nice one the other night. It was 24, I believe. But she was all over the court. A couple of steals in there. Took a key charge. Then Nas was out there balling. So this team is starting to come back together after they went on a little bit of a losing streak. They played the Sky today. They played the Sky today at 4:00.
Yes, indeed.
So shout out to them, man. They are back. Angel up to 15-7. I mean 15.7 points and 11-8. Almost 12 rebounds a game. So she's down about a rebound over last year, but she's up a point scoring over last year. So, and now with her being able to slide back out more to the 4 a lot more, it's gonna be interesting.
It is.
Who else we got out here? A couple of quick shout outs. I do want to shout out Dom Malonga too. Even in that loss to the Indiana Fever, Dom, that might have been her best game that I since she's been in the WNBA. Them 28-14 and wasn't scared at all. Like, she wasn't scared at all. She was going to the basket with intention, was rebounding with intention. She was D'ing up. You can see all the air come out a little bit once they lost, because it really looked like they had it. I thought they was going to win the game, to be honest with you, against Indiana. But Dom Malonga may have played her best game in the WNBA Friday night.
Yeah. Shout out to Dom and our fam. Was out there knocking down the three. She knocked down 3 in a row. Bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh, she's cooking. This what we waiting for, man. Next year, I'm telling you. Next year, that combination. And
I love them together. I mean, I love them together. Yeah, I can say I mentioned several times. You can see, Farm coming along, and she's slowly but surely, she's really feeling herself. She's feeling her way into this thing, and looking good on a lot of stretches up and down the court. But Dom is really figuring it out. Like, she is really figuring it out. And I always say, when you see a player that comes in the league and they start to feel comfortable and confident,
especially
she looks confident. She's not looking as timid as she did when she first came in. She's confident, going to the huddle with confidence. Like, when I look at that too, when the play stops, and I'm loving that. I'm telling you, Dom coming, man. I'm telling y'all, she is coming.
Right hand, left hand. I think she might have considered dunking that one joint. I don't know if you saw the one joint when Timpson came over.
Yeah.
I think it was Tempton. Tempton came over.
Mm-hmm.
She was coming down the lane. I was like, oh, she gonna try to dunk that joint.
Man. Who else we had last week? Oh, I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna tell you a player I'm gonna give a shout out to. Did you see Natisha Hydeman against the Mystics?
I did not actually.
Woo, she was smoking them, man. She was smoking. I'm sure they couldn't miss. D'ing up 3 steals, had a block in there, 31 points. Like she was doing work out there. They switched up on her. She still was putting them down. She just took what they gave her, and she made them pay. It was a game against the Mystics.
Yeah, Seattle won that game, right?
Talking about you talking about the talking about which game you talking about, the what's the name? The Indiana game or the what's
No. You said against Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Seattle won that game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they won it. They won it.
Yeah, I know because I think Kiki had a big game and
Giving them work.
and Kira, but yeah, Hydeman got busy. Wait, that's the game when Flau'jae went crazy at the beginning?
Flau'jae was hot.
Yeah.
We had Shakira Austin played a good game though. As well. I'm gonna continue to shout her out. Nobody talk about Shakira, but Shakira night after night after night. That's an all-star for real. Like 27 points. Very good on both ends of the court. You know, forget that one side that I can score. You know, you got a big that can play defense as well as she plays. People think about her as she can play defense away from the basket too.
Yeah, she got foot quickness. You know what I'm saying? Side to side.
Love Shakira Austin. She wasn't in my 10, but she could have been in there. I love her, man. I don't think anybody, we can take away the 45 points by Caitlin Clark, the outstanding back-to-back games for Angel Reese, and some of the other performances. But overall, for consistency, I don't think anybody has had as good a game than a week than Kayla McBride. Matter of fact, I don't know. Kayla McBride has been on the tear the last 6 games. You know, she had 24 against the Fire last night, 24 against the Sparks, 37 against Phoenix. I know it's Phoenix, but I'm just saying, 37. If you go to the games before those, she went 25, 23, and 28. So McBucket's out here doing work.
You said it at the beginning of the season. You said that she was going to I think you said she was going to remind people or something to that effect. Yeah.
I think
addition of Olivia Miles.
Yeah, if anybody benefit from a player being able to get them where they need to be, it's this combo. It's her and Olivia Miles have been doing. It's been crazy. Olivia has been setting her up so lovely. And one of the things is that hurts teams to try to defend them is the fact that they realize that Olivia gonna go to the bucket a lot. So they're going to get their help. She knows what McBride is before she even starts to drive.
Yep.
Like off top. I'm going in there. I might take it. I might kick it. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to draw these people just as I come towards the 3-point line. She's over there. And it doesn't have to be an easy pass. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get it there. And I know they love playing with her. You can tell she loves playing with it because you can see the interaction between the two. I've seen a lot of plays where rookies will get hyped. And we know that Olivia Miles is she gets hype. She's very hype on the court. But I've seen several times they played when McBride is going to her first. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Rook, this, that, and the third. And did you hear what he said Nafisa Collier told her?
Told Olivia?
Yeah.
No.
I saw something that she mentioned, or someone mentioned that Nafisa Collier had mentioned to her, I know you're a rookie, but it's still your job.
Yep.
It's still your job, to get us in place, to get us going.
Everybody in place. Yeah. I did see that. And that's high praise coming from who was arguably the second best player in the league the last couple seasons, for real. Fee is all the problems. And I can't wait till she gets it back, man. When she
Woo.
gets back, and her and Tosh on the blocks with McBuckets and Court, and then Olivia at the point. Man, what?
Good. That's crazy work. First place in the W right now at 20-6.
Without
Point differential of 8.9, 5-game win streak. Sheesh. That's crazy.
can't wait, can't wait.
Only team, I'll be honest with you. The only team is more on fire than them is the team that I can't miss when they play. I be struggling. I be struggling. The Golden State
Man,
on a 9-game win streak right now, and it's just beautiful basketball when they play, dog. And what's crazy is they are so good. That starting lineup is so good offensively and defensively.
mm-hmm.
But that bench, they just bringing cats off the bench. It's like, yeah, we still gonna do what we do. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State, we talking about Caitlin Clark is good for the league. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. Golden State is wonderful for the WNBA right now. They out here, getting money, worth more than everybody. They play everybody tough. I don't care if it's gonna be the Lynx, the Aces. We gonna man up and ball. You know what I'm saying? And they look good doing it. I mean, I told you I like their uniforms. They've got like 4 uniforms I've seen. But that white, and most people are like, come on, you're making a big deal about a uniform. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the right color purple. But when they wear those whites, and I guess the shade of purple that it is, that was clean, man. The way the white and that purple trend, they complement each other. The way that is a clean uniform, bro. And me talking about white uniforms is crazy because I told you one of my biggest loves of this season has been the fact that people been going dark on dark jerseys.
Right.
Color. They've been going color on color. You know what I'm saying? We might get a matchup between the Aces and the Liberty. You know what I'm saying? Aces, might come in there with the red joints on, and the Liberty might have those. I don't know what you call it, the blue, the aqua bluish green, whatever it is.
Right.
Like I'm loving these color combinations. You know what I'm saying? You might see the Mystics out there playing the Sparks. They might be in that bad boy in red and purple. Like I love that. And you're seeing a lot of it. The Aces and them red UNLV style joints is going up against somebody with a solid color jersey, man. To me, is fire.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that white though, but I'm gonna give them props. That white that the Valkyries wear with that shade of purple is amazing to me. It's an amazing uniform. I'm trying to think. I don't think I missed it, but I'm gonna give another shout out again this week, even though she did have one bad game in the middle. Marina Mabrey, steady as they come. Yeah, Marina put up 21 points here. She had put up 30 points against the Liberty. She had the down game against the Mystics. They got blown out. She didn't put up but 8, but she had 26 against the Atlanta Dream. That was a highly entertaining matchup. Watching that bad boy. But got to give a shout out to Marina Mabrey, man. Marina Mabrey balling.
Yep, can't knock it. She's doing her thing.
Yeah. Only other thing I got WNBA, unless it's something else you think we should hit. I was gonna take a look at these All-Star rosters.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All-Star teams. Let me blow it up on my end so I can see what I'm looking at here. Give me a second. Boom.
Check my palm palette so I can see what I'm saying.
Yeah, a little blur up here, but it is what it is. So Team Coot and Team Spoon came out, and Coop and Spoon selected their rosters from the list of all-stars that were available. This joint is heavy, man. This joint is heavy, and I think all of this is fire. The only thing is, and this has nothing to do with the fact of the all-star rosters themselves, though. The glaring omission, the person that I think should be an all-star, I just got through talking about it a little while ago, but I understand how these numbers roll. Shakira, But that's a whole nother story. I understand how these numbers roll, but this joint is crazy. When I first saw this source, I was like, oh, yeah, Team Spoon got this joint in the bag. I think Team Spoon's joint is like they're gonna win this joint. But the more and more I looked at Team Coop, and if they play basketball the way they did 2 years ago, last year was good, but it wasn't as good as the couple of years ago when they played against the U.S. team, right? But I still enjoyed it. But depending on how they play, Coop got some shooters, bro. Coop got some shooters now. Is Kelsey Plum gonna play? Is the question.
Probably not. She can't be injured this long and then come out and play an All-Star game.
Yeah, because if she was healthy, and I'm sitting there looking at that lineup right there, I'm like, shoot, I could see Mabrey, Kelsey, Kelsey Plum, maybe even Sonya. I could see them folks say start lighting it up. You never know what's gonna happen with Jack. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be interesting. But this may be a little tougher to pick than I thought, man. What you think about D?
I think if Team Coop runs, then Team Spoon is in trouble. They're too big. It's too many bigs.
Woo!
They need to flip one. Like if they could flip a big over, like if Kelsey Plum was to play, and you flipped Necker over there for Kelsey Plum, then it would be even. I think it would be more even. But I think Team Spoon is a little bigger. Team Coop is a little faster. And I think Team Coop could, if it gets out of hand, it's because Team Coop is running them off the floor. If it's close, Team Spoon might put them people on the block to the end, especially with that point guard that's going to be out there delivering the rock. It's going to be trouble.
So she doesn't. I had to go back and look at how this thing would work. If Plum doesn't play, who's a replacement?
Got to be Cobb, right?
Probably Kai. It's probably Kai.
Not that I think that I thought she was having a worse, like she had a worse stretch than she actually did. I didn't think she was playing as well as she actually is. I was like, wait, her numbers are what? Because I could have sworn there was a stretch where she was just not making shots, like not playing well. And, yeah.
I believe there was a small stretch that she wasn't playing that well.
Okay, maybe I thought it was a longer stretch than it was, because their numbers are kind of like, oh, they surprised me when I actually looked at her numbers.
Yeah, that whole situation over there, I don't. Oof.
Oh, Phoenix is. They need to blow that joint up.
That's what I felt. Other than I was like, "Dang, Phoenix and Connecticut playing? Oh my goodness!" But it actually ended up being somewhat entertaining. I mean, Connecticut run.
That's what we got again today, right?
Yeah, I believe it's again today.
Yeah, and it should be because with two of them played in Connecticut, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's be interesting though. Maybe it is kind. Yeah, but I'm with you. If Coop get out there and run, if they get out there and run, it could be a problem.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely some gunners out there for sure. Now, because there's two separate teams there. Let's see, John Quill, Courtney, Kiki.
Kiki, do you love me?
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. See me actually play some defense. See Olivia Miles. I want to see Olivia Miles and Paige for obvious reasons. I want to see them go one-on-one a little bit.
Showtime.
Yeah, shout out to the Wings too. What are they on, the 5-game heat? I believe 5-game win streak. I believe.
Man, they balling too. Yeah, man.
They out balling. I'll say this, and amongst you and both of our concerns, I have noticed with them that the way that Arike is fitting into what they're doing, I still don't like her there, but the way she's fitting into what they're doing, it's working out a little bit better than I anticipated for now. She's gonna still put them up. She's still gonna gun, but she doesn't seem to be taking away from this team's offense the way that I anticipated that was going to happen. I thought they'd have a lot more problems than what they're having right now. I'll say that. She's had a couple of decent nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I still think I'd like to see them without her. But I've been surprised a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely like to see them without her.
All those guards, especially.
I'm still on that. I don't know. In fact, them shots could be used in a better fashion. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is going to be fun, though. This is going to be fun. Shout out. Like I said, hopefully we get a good competitive game. They out there taking it seriously. And I believe they will, but we're going to see. Right. That's all I got, WNBA. You got anything else?
We mentioned Sophie, Caitlin. We didn't talk about Caitlin and her anger issues.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what it is.
We don't have to. I'm just saying.
We know it is what it is, man. I should have put the clip up of the situation with her and who's it? Her and Stokes. We weren't here last week, but
that Joe was. Here's the thing, though, Prime. Here's the thing. I don't disagree with the fact that Stokes' knee may have hit her in the thigh. Right. I don't disagree with that. I know a lot of people was like, they didn't touch it. And I saw videos where it was edited where they didn't touch at all. Like I was like, this is clearly edited because they ain't even that close to each other. But I think the knee may have touched. It might have been slight. But if you've never been kneed in the thigh, you might not understand how I feel.
My only problem go ahead.
But as the ref told her, you initiated the contact.
That's what I was gonna say. She initiated.
You went to her. Now you went to her, initiated the contact, then fell out. Then all of a sudden, the anger has allowed you to still be able to walk around and snap on everybody. And then to even after the fact, and I don't like that people took the still shot of Caitlin pushing off and made it, a big deal, because that's not where her issue was. That's not where the issue was. And she definitely pushed off, but that's not what she was complaining about. The fact that she chose to still stand on what she said in the press conference after the game, though, like they got to call that. They got to call what exactly? Yes. One, a knee, even if she needs you on purpose, that might be missed because they're probably not looking at your bottom half. They're looking at your top half where the ball is and where your bodies might collide. A knee hitting your thigh, it might have been seen. It might not have been seen, but you can't be going crazy off of that. Like, that's the crazy. On top of that, she came back last night and got a technical because she snapped early because she got picked. Yeah. How about snap on your teammates who didn't tell you that pick was coming?
And the pick was nasty.
It was solid.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, the pick was you just got smacked. Like that joint was ugly.
And maybe her teammates did call it out and she just didn't hear them. But I'm saying either way, that's internal. Snapping on the ref ain't gonna get you. Well, I mean, she can do what she want to do. It seems to an extent. She did get a technical. Don't get me wrong, but I just need for the people that love her without condition to at least admit something ain't right.
Yeah, and shout out to the brother, and of course he caught a lot of heat. I can't remember his name, but he's like a psychologist and social something. Anyway, he put out a very good video, and I wish I had it. And he wasn't picking at Caitlin Clark. He wasn't down at Caitlin Clark. He didn't say anything negative about her, but he brought up the point that honestly, has anybody ever thought about the fact that she might have some real issues, like psychological, like some real issues? Somebody said something about her. I mean, I want to down in the Bible says about what they call it, bit on the spectrum. People were saying it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. I don't never could never dream about having that immense popular and have to deal with everything that she deals with, and from the fans and the people or whatever. But there are times that I've watched her, and you look at her face when she's going off on these referees or going off or having the whole 9 yards.
Unhinged.
It doesn't look right, man. You've seen that in everyday society where there's people have an issue, like a mental issue, which I'm not gonna make light of, but I'm just saying. And it doesn't look right when you look at them faces. There are plenty. You can go find on the internet. There's plenty videos and pictures of her going off, and she looks, unfortunately, like some of the people that have those issues.
Unhinged, bro. Unhinged.
Yeah.
Her dad used to be like, "Shut up, shut up and play."
Yeah, her dad told you, but y'all don't care. Y'all don't want to hear it.
So. They argue about that, John. Like, bro, y'all act like y'all. Somebody was like, well, she didn't start acting like this until she was getting bullied in the league, and everybody was knocking her down and treating her.
Yeah, she's fighting back.
I was like, dog, did you not see her first game of her professional career when she snapped on the ref before halftime of her first game?
First game.
What are you talking about? You don't even have to talk about any part of her college career. Talk about that. Just that. The first game she's on the court. How do you feel so privileged to snap on a ref in the first game of your career?
Yeah.
That's not right, bro. That's not right.
Wow. Something to watch, though. Something to watch. I think one person I did want to give a shout out to, though, is and I didn't think about it when we were first talking about the Connecticut Sun. Lacan, though. Lacan.
Yeah,
I remember when they drafted her. I remember when she got drafted. It was a couple years ago, and I was like, they keep saying this girl a baller. Like, I'm seeing these videos and these highlights. I had seen highlights before the draft, and I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she looked good the other night, 26 against Phoenix, and she's been steady. Like, she can play.
No doubt.
Little Lacan can play.
And I need her to come back and do the same thing today because I got her in my FanDuel lineup.
There it is. There it is. Today is going to be fun. Cannot wait. Unlike yesterday, where we got action tipping off at 1:00. I know yesterday I was shocked. Dang, ain't no game starting before. We got 3 games tomorrow with 8 and 8:30. That was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's odd. They don't have a Saturday game on. No 1:00.
Right.
But today, yeah, they tipping it off. I'm hearing a little bit, so that's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm gonna show y'all my lineup just so when it wins tonight. I don't know if y'all can see it, but you can say, "Yeah, he showed us his lineup before it happened." We're gonna catch out. Y'all know it's real.
Shout out to AJ. I don't know if he said it. AJ says, he was talking about Lou Dort. He said, let me see what he had up here. I'm like half and half with it, but if it was a scorer and a defender combined, I would be mad, but I'm not hating on the trade. Good luck to him.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to keep everybody, man.
Yeah.
That's just part of the thing.
Lou Dort is a good get for anybody. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Lou Dort is definitely a good get. He's one of those guys. He's just one of those guys on your team, man.
But if you got to give up somebody, I mean, he's 4, 5, 6. He ain't 1, 2, 3. So
no, for sure.
We'll get to him.
And that's no disrespect to them guys, because in a lot of situations on the run, the 5 guy and the 6 guy could be that guy. In a lot of instances, though, we just saw that in New York. So at times, so yeah, that's interesting though. But I don't have any hate for it, especially since Trae Young ain't in Atlanta no more. So
and the Knicks won the championship, so he don't care for real.
Oh yeah, out here tearing up jerseys. Well, I know it was all for publicity, but I don't know if have you been paying attention. They had Fanatics Fest again this past week.
I saw where Jalen signed a New York Giants helmet.
Yeah. They've been busy, man. You talking about being everywhere. Like, I know they got to be fatigued because it's like they do when the Stars winning, they get to do all the talk shows, they do all the baseball games, throwing out the pitches and being at the game. We done seen Jalen at the World Cup. We done seen all types of stuff where they just had a wrestling event, one of the Saturday night main event last night. And I guess because it was in New York, so they showed love to Jalen Brunson. Even brought Cat out to slam somebody through a table. Choke slam one person, slam through a table. OG done had several appearances. But Fanatics Fest goes on every year. You can always catch all the videos. You know, Brian was out there early in the week, and they was trying to get him to leak where he was going. He was out there doing his interview and all that. Knicks were represented heavy, Josh Hart and all them. But yeah, Knicks been out there heavy. So and shout out to Bron for holding tight. I know y'all mad that the man didn't say where he going. Some of y'all don't care, but they were expecting Bron to come out there and tell me where he was going.
The league, like, hey, bro, we can't really put out no schedule.
Did
you say where you going? Like, how we gonna have a schedule if you ain't on a team? Like, what we gonna do?
I don't care, bro. It is, do what you do. But if you want me to help you, just go into Golden State, man. Stay out the East.
That's what I mean, nothing. I mean, you know, I don't care if you go to the East personally, but I would love to see him in Golden State. That would be so fun. I think that would be fun.
Stay out the East, man. I know you talking about teaming up with Giannis and all that. Pat Riley made a comment the other day about we still something. He didn't say it in this way, like still waiting on one or something like that. So I'm like, okay, so you and Brian, y'all cool again?
Philly would be crazy.
Yeah, Philly would be crazy.
Philly would be.
I'm not trying to see that.
Yeah, I understand, because that is not cool. that ain't cool, bro. I'm
not trying to see that source at all. I'm not trying to see that. I already didn't want to see Brown go over there. I'm not trying to see Brown add to that. And you know, and that way when Embiid, not if, but when Embiid ain't there for a certain period of time, you still get. And now I ain't trying to see all that, bro. Brown don't. I don't want to. Cleveland would be a great story, but I won't see you go to Cleveland either. And I got love for Donovan Mitchell, but that's just an obstacle. Going on the West Coast. Look, I'm gonna tell you the interesting thing people was talking about. You know, nobody else is talking about it. Man, go to Minnesota. Shoot, I don't care. Go on there with Ant-Man and Ball. Y'all do something. Yeah, just stay out the East, bro.
Who said that? I don't like that at all. That sounds horrible.
It started on I think it was at the beginning of Fanatics Fest. One of the joints, somebody was making a comment, and they were talking to Ant-Man, to Anthony Edwards. And then he kind of made a comment, and then people have been kind of running with it since then. And he would welcome it, and you know, he ain't funny. I forgot what he said, but it was kind of comical. But yeah, I don't know, just stay out the East. But just because I want it to happen, that means you probably coming to the East. It'll just be what it's going to be. But I'm just saying.
Pick a team, bro, so we can move on.
Yeah,
maybe I'll care. Maybe I'll care again.
Give Adam. I'll give him an out since people blaming him for getting AT suspended until he didn't call Ingber and told us to suspend AT. You know, you give him something else to get the heat off of him. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the other point that we didn't talk about. That's the other point that we didn't talk about, Prime. Listen. I might be wrong. I did not feel the angst, the frustration from the Sandy Brondello comment. I didn't personally. I did not feel it. I get the idea of it. I don't know if that particular thing. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about the word species. I feel like that was blown out of proportion. And when things like that happen, I feel like things that get blown out of proportion, it gives people who don't even want to acknowledge the more obvious things a reason to say, see, they're trying to include this into racism, and this is not racism. I feel like there might be some of that in this. I could be wrong, but species, I don't know. I don't know if that would, I don't know.
I'm with you. I feel the exact same. I don't know. I can understand why folks. I mean, Angel Reese might even feel the way she felt. She made the comment like, "I'm not surprised," or whatever, and I get it. She attached it to one of the joints on social media.
Oh yeah.
But it was a heat of the moment type situation. I mean, you mentioned that she was more frustrated with the refs and so on, and she unfairly included Angel, Angel in it, and please, she didn't wait. She went out heartfelt immediately after the fact and put it out there. I don't feel it. I can't tell anybody else or Angel anybody else how to feel about it, but I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this one. But
So she's suspended for a game though.
Yeah. I also am not like I don't really love the Australian uh excuse. It may be a thing in Australia. I don't know. But dog, like how long you gotta live in America before like how many years you got to be in America for, come on, bro. Like I hate that as an excuse. I don't know that it's that big a deal, but I hate that as being the excuse. I got a lot of issues with the issues.
I hated the whole situation too, because during the whole thing that started it, remember Nayara Sabali had fouled Angel Reese, but then they were arguing that should have been a hostile act on Angel Reese with an elbow to the ribs when she got hurt. And I like Sabali too, but you know, I'm more concerned honestly about at this point about Sabali's health than that particular situation. So I find out more if I even find out. We probably won't hear no more about it after that. So hopefully, in the good word, Angel being the Angel that she's been for the most part of the season. Hopefully, we get past it. Angel hopefully accepts the apology. Maybe the next time they play, maybe there's a quick hug. Hopefully, at the beginning of the game before they get on the court, whatever. And just keep it moving, man. Hope. I can't tell Angel how to feel though, but it is what it is.
Right, right.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, that's it. I'm gonna show you. I want to show you something real quick before we get into this last bit with this hip hop. I thought you'd get a kick out of this right here.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, man. That was the classic. Put out a video, maybe this is it. But first play, baby. Good like that.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna play this one right now.
Yo, come on.
Take me back, bro. Take me back.
That's the greatest game of all time, man. Coach K.
I had to dig up. I showed you a couple times that I still got the cartridge.
Yeah.
Back. Make me want to go back to one of these joints. A while back, I had bought found my old Sega Genesis. I guess it still worked. And I called myself going to play it, but I needed to go down to one of the old throwback stores and get the piece.
Mm-hmm.
We got an you can upgrade it now if you don't have the old hookups, screw-ins, whatever, the whole 9 yards. But I didn't never get the ones for the newer TV. People say you can still get them. That's the way you can do it, but I don't know. But I might have to look into that. Yeah. Back when I bought the piece that I bought, I still had an old TV set just sitting in the corner, like real small. They still had the little screw pieces on the back, and I was going to attempt to hook it up to that. I just never did it. But
man, I played like a whole season, but I did all the teams. I got a notebook, was writing them just down. Craziness, This is young adulthood. This ain't even like childhood. This is young adulthood. I
Class.
was addicted to that joint,
I will
man.
give a shout out to some of these streamers. I will admit to all the dedicated retro gaming people out here, man. And so is they all our age, brother. I'm trying to tell
Oh
you,
yeah.
man, it's a couple of people that I follow, man, between Facebook and Twitch. They like retro down. So
Mm.
I didn't play all the games that they show, but they retro down. Whether it's a sports game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, whatever. And they got all these consoles and this. It's one guy, man. I remember what his name was. I sent it to you. He plays the games just like all the streamers play on, Madden and 2K on Twitch, and
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty, and of course new Grand Theft about to come out this year finally. But yeah, he plays the retro games like that.
Mm.
You can go there and watch him. They do playing Tecmo Bowl, all the. I seen Coach Care. Yeah, he playing the old 2K, the old NBA Live '95. Yeah,
That all them jumps, huh?
and he's playing them live while you can watch him play them.
Somebody told me, hey, you should be a gamer, a stream game. Somebody told me I should do that a while back. I was like, bro, I don't even play games no more. I ain't doing that.
It's people, shout out to the people that's dedicated. There's some cats on there that I'll just pass through the stream or whatever. I just follow them in case they play something that like.
Right.
Man, it's people they be on there. You go on the stream at any given time, man. It'd be 300-400 people on there watching them, playing these games. They getting money.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Yep.
Streaming games. Go heavy.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? All right. Let's see. Last up. So let's get to the hip hop, man, before we peel out. And matter of fact, let's do this here. Matter of fact, hold tight for one quick second.
Yep.
You can tell the people what you got going on, something like that. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, we got B Cypher Wednesday, episode 88. This week we have the sample challenge is I asked any of the producers or all of the producers to bring a flip of a beat that was used in 1988 or a flip of a sample that was used in 1988 or to remix something from 1988. So have the vocals and then create a new beat for the vocals and do it that way. So that is going to be fire. That's this week on TikTok, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific on the Source, of course, channel. Let's see what else we got going on. Actually, after last week in Sacramento, this week DJ gig. I don't have anything coming up in the next few weeks, so I'm chilling. Maybe book a couple interviews. We'll see what happens in the next couple days. We'll do it that way. Just subscribe to Source, of course, on Instagram. Not Instagram. I mean, you can on Instagram if you want, but subscribe on TikTok for all the happenings, all the goings on.
Nice. Y'all get out my man's. Check him out. He's doing some good stuff over there.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, Source,
Yes,
recently we started a segment. Well, we don't do it every week, but we've done it the last few shows, whatever, called runs. And we started a segment where we talk about musically hip hop album runs, whether it's just 2 albums, 3 albums. We've only done 4 album runs up to this point.
Right.
So last week when we didn't do a show, you out of town, and I did what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I spent part of the day watching movies, and I've been on a crazy nostalgic trip lately. Of course, before you and I went live, I was listening to some 1987 hip hop.
Throwback.
Been watching a lot of stuff from the 80s. And last week I was on some Spike Lee. So I watched, while we weren't doing the show, I watched School Days, which is, I hadn't seen School Days in years.
Really?
Like years. And the crazy thing is, I've always had the DVD here, and I didn't realize. I had Nicole laughing. I didn't realize until I went. Some of our school days today, and I went to see if it was on a streaming platforms. I know in the past on some of the streaming platforms we have, it had been on there. They weren't offering it free on any of the platforms as of late. That's why we got the DVD. I never realized that I never took the plastic off the DVD, and I feel like I probably bought that DVD at least 10 years ago.
Jeez.
At least 10 years ago. And yeah, so the plastic came off. We watched School Days, but then after School Days, I went right back into Do the Right Thing, which I had watched either last year or the year before. Whenever we did the Run It Back, was the last time I watched it. So I was on Spike Lee, and I was like, "Yep, next joint we do got to be Public Enemy." Public Enemy.
Can't be mad at that.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk a little Public Enemy today, and we're gonna talk about a 4-album run. Now, this easily could have been a 2-album run, 3-album run, but I decided to make it a 4-album run within itself, and I think it's still an impressive run. I know a lot of people have different feelings about each of these albums, or how much they really listen to Public Enemy, or how far I went with them.
Right.
But I think it's very interesting because what I found going back into the music of Public Enemy is that it's easy for people to forget the last two on this list based on them not remembering at one point which songs were on those albums. And that's not the only reason they'll forget it, but I'm just saying because there's a song or two on, the last album here, the Apocalypse album, that I think people thought about might have been on the Fear of a Black Planet album. And there's a song or two on the Fear of a Black Planet album that some folks, I found this out recently by somebody that I knew, who thought that was on it. It Takes a Nation of Millions album.
Dang.
Yeah, and I get it. After I thought about it, because I wouldn't be surprised if I had forgot that, right? But nonetheless, I feel this is an impressive run. You started out in 1987. Yo Bum Rushed the Show. When they first came out, Chuck D and them came out hitting them hard. One of my favorite album covers of all time. This album cover just says so much. Like, they're all black, got the hand over a record. Notably, Chuck D is wearing white. You kind of think about, the minister himself in this situation. This album cover says so much, and I think it was dope. One of the first album covers, along with like Criminal Minded, albums that I bought specifically because I thought the album cover was fire. I'm gonna get to it later. I love this album cover. It's matter of fact, we're gonna do an album cover joint one day, just a top 5 or 10, whatever album covers. But so I ain't gonna tell you where it is on my list, but this thing I love it, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard. We jumped to 88, of course, with It Takes a Nation of Millions. They took a couple of years off in 1990, came with The Fear of a Black Planet. And of course, 91 was Apocalypse 91, The Enemy Strikes Back. What's your impressions on this 4-album run or any of these albums in general?
Well, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back is a certified bona fide classic top tier hip hop album. I've heard people argue that that's the greatest album of all time.
I've seen that.
And I respect that argument. It's definitely up there in the hip hop realm as well, or specifically. Very powerful work. From the first album, like you said, you probably don't consider a couple joints as being on the first album. I get that. You might think it was on Takes a Nation instead, and the same Fear of a Black Planet has a couple joints that you like, ain't that on It takes a nation.
Yeah.
No, it is not. So I definitely feel you on that. I ain't gonna lie. Apocalypse. I don't know what's on Apocalypse.
Easy to forget. Let me tell you
Yo,
this.
ain't no way. I'm looking at it right now. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Mhm.
Ain't okay.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but
Do you know what I'm saying? Bring the noise. What is that? Bring the noise on. Did you thought I was gonna say shut up down?
yeah, I thought you were
No,
talking
no,
about.
no, no,
Mhm.
no. Bring the noise. Bring the noise. I'm like, hold on, bro. But all that feels like it takes a nation. It feels like it takes a nation. Worst case, fear of a black planet.
Yeah,
But golly, that's wild. That's wild to me. Uh, not thinking about it, not looking at it until just now, and being like, "Yo, can't trust it." I get that, but I could see it. I could see it being on Fear of a Black Planet. Uh, yeah, that's the main joints off of. Excuse me, that fourth album that probably relate in my mind more to the third or even the second album for real.
yeah. They so yeah, Shut 'Em Down was my joint. And of course, I remember that the video, powerful video for by the time I get to Arizona. I never mistake that from being on any other album by the time
Yeah,
I get to
yeah.
Arizona.
Well, what are you talking? When you say shut them down, are you talking the original or the remix?
The original.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, the original. But this joint, man, like I remember having this album. I didn't break my neck to buy Apocalypse 91 initially.
Mm-hmm.
But of course it was PE. I was gonna follow through for. But when you go back before the year before then, Fear of a Black Planet, right?
Yep.
This is the most common one that I've heard. And I think about I was telling you about the one guy, but I do remember somebody else having this conversation a while ago. If there's one song on that album that you think that if you think about it, some people might mistake and think was on a different album. I would even say I'll give you a hint. Maybe think it's on the Nation's album, Woe to Be.
Well, I hate to think that uh, people think "Fight the Power" is on "It Takes a Nation." I hope that's not it.
Nah, because that album came out in '88 and Fighting
And
the
that's
Power was really
1989, the number.
'89. Yep.
Yeah. What? Well, let's see. What song? What song?
I give you a hint. I'm gonna give you a hint. This is what I hear the most common. It was the song is also played in the Kid and Play movie. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, it is. It is. It is. It's two. Matter of fact, it's two songs. One of them was played in the Kid and Play movie, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. There's another song that was a very popular song, um, funny song that I've
And
heard.
I can't do nothing for you, man.
Can't Do Nothing for You, Man was a Kid and Play joint.
Okay.
That's when the Kid and Play joint. So no, that's not what I'm talking about. It's another song that I've heard more than one person mention, and they didn't realize it was that album. For some reason, at the time period, they thought, and I get it, but then it's crazy because there's a 2 year time jump.
Yeah, 90. So it's 91, 90, 88, 87.
They went 87, they went 87, 88, then they went 90 and 91.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know which song it is.
911 is a joke. Yeah, people 911 is a joke. I've heard more than one person, and I get it.
They thought it was on "It Takes a Nation."
Thought it was on It Takes a Nation.
Why would you think that though?
Yeah. And I don't know, just granted, getting old, but just thinking about that time period and Flavors continue as his popularity rose, because we're not gonna act like on Yo Bum Rush the show that's where his popularity began.
Right, right.
And it's not enough visual. It was nothing crazy. They weren't making anything for the radio on that. 88, one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, and all the bangers it had on it. Flavor was really at the forefront of a lot of those songs or videos or had scenes with him. So people were really getting into where he was. Then he goes right in and doing his own, pretty much his own song, his own video. I guess within that year and a half, 2 year time gap or whatever, people were just, Flavor was at his height, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And people just kind of, they were still in that PE groove a little bit. And, you know, I mean, Fight the Power didn't hurt bridging the gap between the album, even though it was recorded in '89. You had Fight the Power as kind of a gap. I mean, as a stopgap, because he went from '88 to '89 into '90.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the Fight the Power video, a lot of the video is Flavor Flav.
Yeah,
You know,
gives,
in the front, and they showing them doing all that. So, I mean, I don't know. Back then, I would be like, no, it's definitely the Fear of the Black Planet album. But as you get older and you think about that time period when people was really on Flavor, I can kind of understand. You know what I'm saying? If you're not really, I can kind of understand. But I've heard more than one person say that.
Yeah, that. I mean, I feel that. I mean, you know, I don't know. I think it's weird just because of the feel of It Takes a Nation. Like there's no slouches, and we're not leading with Flav rapping on a classic. Well, I mean, that's arguable, but
you got to understand. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think you got to think about everybody not gonna look at it the way we look at it, because I don't think a lot of people know. Like, so when they did the It Takes a Nation album, it was with intent the way they did it. Like, you go back to Yo Bum Rush the show. I've told you a bunch of times. I 100% agree that It Takes a Nation, and most people is a better album. It's massive.
Yeah, not your favorite.
It's one of my favorites, but if you're asking me what's my favorite Public Enemy album, I love Yo Bum Rush the show.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, it's just there's no real radio there. You know what I'm saying? It's a dark feel to it. There's no radio. You know, it's giving off a certain vibe, but it just is what it is. When we jump to It Takes a Nation, the intent was really felt in this particular album, because I remember Chuck D talking about it. This has been years ago. And I think he was on, you heard Joel and I talk about Knicks Fan TV.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's on there a lot, Sky Zoo, a lot of them anyway.
Right.
And they were talking to him. They were talking music, mostly because it was in the off season or whatever. And he said that the intent on that album, well, he didn't say use the word intent, but he kind of wanted that, him and the producers and them wanted to have, like, they wanted it to be like the Marvin Gaye album. What's going on? Anybody that's a Marvin Gaye fan, if you go back, that album was worldly, is about what's going on in the world. We talking relationships, poverty,
socially, political,
how we being treated as, as minority, everything. Powerful album by the legendary Marvin Gaye. If y'all don't know, you need to get back at it. That's a powerful album, man.
Yeah.
And if you go down and look at the list of songs, Bring the Noise, of course, is on the album, but I told you that actually was on the soundtrack first.
Mm-hmm.
Less Than Zero. That was the first time I heard it. Don't Believe the Hype. If you listen to the words of Don't Believe the Hype, you get it. But Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos, Night of the Living Bassheads, even Louder Than the Bomb, nobody would talk about that song, but I absolutely love Louder Than the Bomb. If you listen to the words of it. The whole vibe of that album is crazy, and with intent. Listen to the words of almost every song on the album, that there's some real intent behind what they're trying to push across. And that's the way Marvin Gaye's What's Going On album was.
She watched Channel Zero.
She watched.
Night of the Living Bases.
Ooh.
And I totally forgot about I'm Stone Cold Lamping.
Yeah.
I forgot about that joint.
And so you're making your point with these albums, and then of course having a banger, to keep you moving, because they did say, I remember Chuck did say too when they did this album, and this will go to the Flav piece as well. They wanted to make an album that was also, they could be more stage friendly. Too, so get the people jumping a little bit, so he could get his point across with all of the songs we just named and give you great visuals with the videos. But then if you want to go off, you can let Terminator go off on. We can play Rebel Without a Pause and do my thing. We can play Terminator X to the Edge of Panic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and let Terminator go off. And then once you get hype, whatever, I go back into one of these deeper joints.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So great album, man. Great album. 90, Fear of a Black Planet. We talked about that. Welcome to the Terror Dome. You know, was dope. He kept you hype with that joint. Brother's Gonna Work It Out. I love the music to that song. I love the music to that song. Public Enemy on this album, as of all their albums, they tap into a little, not just the hip hop and the jazz aspect. There's some rock and roll and guitars and stuff and a lot of this stuff too. So,
Right.
You know, Bomb Squad and all of them, they were worldly. And you mentioned I Can't Do Nothing For You, man.
I can't do nothing for you, man.
You remember it was a house party when the party was jumping and they was dancing. Flavor Flav is the son. Public Enemy number. It was during the party in the house. And it wasn't a dance scene. It just showed the party and people was in there dancing.
Yeah, I don't remember it in the movie.
Yeah, you gotta go back and watch we house party, man. We supposed to do that on Run It Back. It's classic, man. And then, like I say, they ended off with 91. You know, we talked about Can't Trust and then Shut Them Down. Of course, nobody will mistake this album to be on the level of the other albums, especially not the second one, probably not the third one, but you know, it had some hits on that.
You got Can't Trust It. No. Come on, man.
Let's get mad watching that video, bro.
I am going to have to do a Public Enemy live. I'm going to have to do a Public Enemy set.
Yeah. It's enough on here, bro. Like, it's enough
Easy.
on here. It's enough on here just on those four. You know, they got a couple of them, but just on those four, like, it's some heat.
Hey, man. I'm doing that. I'm making it happen. For sure.
Yeah. You know, you hear a lot of people would never talk about, you mentioned she watched Channel Zero, right? The equivalent to that song to me, of all their songs, you can go back to the first album, and they had Sophisticated Bitch, the Sophisticated Beat. Like, it's nobody ever named that song, like bring that song up. But Chuck be spitting on that joint, like when he talking about Shorty. Man, Chuck get deep on that joint. Sophisticated.
Shout out to El Bravador and everybody from WKIE, you know, Public Enemy, and everybody used to start their tours in Richmond.
Yeah.
And that helped build a relationship with WKIE and El Bravador and their squad. And Public Enemy, they friends to this day. So that's dope. Yeah, the Z-Rock crew. They still rocking too.
Shout out to the Z-Rock crew. Shout out to Sir RJ as well. Sir RJ and the posse. Yeah. Somebody
mentioned Sir RJ in my live yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, you from Richmond? I don't know what they said. I never saw their comment. I was like, you got to be from Richmond. You're talking about Sir RJ. And do you know I'm from Richmond? That's the real question.
Love. It's been love to be, you know, it's been all love being able to experience all that. Cause like, especially with the news of, I know you've been seeing it even more now about them, you know, the Coliseum coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all, whoever on the crew, I need a piece of that brick out of that wall over there. Slide it to me over the gate or something. Right. I think it was a joke. When they knock down that building, I'm gonna make it a point to try my best to, at some point when the people over there working, I can get the attention of one of the construction workers nearby. Say, hey, can you give me a little small piece of rock or something from over there? It's just how much that meant to me. But it makes me think about one of the first, not one of the first show, but one of the most memorable shows I went to when Public Enemy came down.
Mm-hmm.
Both the Z-Rock crew and Sir RJ were openers on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sir RJ and the posse. He had a joint, was vocal on the front, instrumental on the back. I never forget that joint.
Was that
from here, yo? You know what I'm saying?
87? That was 87.
Yeah.
I went to Harvey's that next morning to get a haircut, and because I didn't go to the show, and I remember whoever cut my hair asked me, did I go to the show? I said, yeah. I remember saying, yes, I went, even though I did not go.
Yeah. They got Z-Rock crew and Siraj, they opened up the show, and Public Enemy was definitely on that was on that tour though. Yeah, so shout out to them. If you ever decide to go back, I haven't done it in a while. I might take some time to do it when I feel like doing some reading. If you go back and look over the whole history with Public Enemy though, as you go through album to album and then the stories, it's pretty amazing though. Even you think about going to all those shows and seeing the S1Ws and how they used to come out. I think about Fear of the Black Planet was starting just as Professor Griff and them split.
Yeah.
He had those anti-Semitic comments and all that, and they split. So he really wasn't a part of the run after that. And shout out, matter of fact, I got to watch the interview. Shout out to Terminator X. He does a podcast. He hasn't been doing it that long, I don't believe. And he has him and a couple of his guys, and they bring on some former hip hop heads and people in the business. And I've watched a couple of them, and pretty interesting. Some pretty interesting stories being told. I haven't watched the one that he did with Professor Griff, with Griff, which would be interesting because that was a time period that he and Griff didn't get along.
Right.
Yeah, so evidently it was publicized they didn't like each other. I don't know if it had anything to do with the exact breakup of the group, but they weren't getting along. So to see them, him come on the show is going to be interesting. And he has this interesting story in there too. He talks about Chuck D, the success of the group, and especially with Rebel Out of Pause, and then of course he did Terminator X as a Planet. That Chuck D wasn't a fan. At first, didn't like his scratching, his transforming and stuff. Yeah, so very interesting. So I'm not gonna say that Terminator X got the greatest podcast out there. I mean, he out here doing his thing, but he's had a couple of very interesting interviews on that. So anybody looking for something to watch, check out Terminator X. I think it's called the Terminator X Experience.
Word.
I think on Facebook and YouTube. So check him out. Yeah, but shout out to Public Enemy as well. And Source, got to get that Public Enemy set done, man.
Got to do it.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got. You got anything else we need to hit before we get out of here?
No, man. About to watch this game. See if I see Jada in the stands.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna check it out myself. Matter of fact, I just hit the button on that bad boy. So, it is what it is. So, y'all, thank y'all for rocking with us. We've been heavy on the WNBA because that's what we love, and we always going. Most weeks include some hip hop and sometimes some television. It's going to be involved as well. I will say this before we get out of here. Have you, and not to give out any spoilers or anything, but have you been watching The Chi?
Of course.
All right, so that's crazy enough. That's about to come to an end.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. I hate to see it go, especially seeing all the old photos and pictures and the throwbacks and videos of young Emmett and Keisha and all of them. Going to hate to see that go. And we also are nearing the end. We are right at the end of Raising Canaan as well.
Yeah.
For the Canaan folks, though, you see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They have been showing Power Origins clips here. So we know that ain't the end for Canaan because Canaan is in some of the clips. So we're going to see him a little bit. So something to watch. Maybe we'll discuss those at a later time, though.
Sound good.
Yeah, no doubt. But appreciate y'all rocking with us. Y'all enjoy the WNBA today. And we're going to catch y'all next time. This is the SBP, y'all. Peace.
W's in the chat.
W's in the chat.